This is a super underrated fight, and if you're a fan of striking, you're going to keep it tuned in for this one, as we have Mike Beast Boy Davis moving back down to featherweight, taking on Giga Chikadze. And again, a lot of these fights on short notice. Giga Chikadze, if you're familiar with him, awesome kickboxer. His stand-up's second to none. You're gonna have a hard time finding a more technical striker at 145 pounds that's flying under the radar. Taking on Mike Davis, a guy that's fought most recently at lightweight, absolutely dismantled Thomas Gifford in his last fight. And before that, it was a loss to Gilbert Burns, who's on fire at 170 pounds. And he lost in his Contender Series shot against Sodiq Yusuff back in 2018. Put together a couple of wins in island fights, and then he had that fight against Gilbert Burns. So Mike Davis, head of steam, a guy that trains in Florida. I mean, probably going to be driving to this card, but a guy who spent time at Fusion XL and ATT. Giga Chikadze coming by way of King's MMA. Who's come from King's MMA, Matt?
Fabrice Overdoom, Kelvin Gastelum, RDA before he went to Ruka. I mean, it's just a who's who. Rafael Cordero is their head coach, and he's one of the best, if not the best, Muay Thai coach in the whole world. I think this is an interesting fight. I think it's interesting. I know you're going to bring it up later, how Mike Davis is the favorite. He's about a 2-1 favorite. But on Tapology, the majority of people are picking Giga Chikadze. And I think that's very interesting because Chikadze hasn't looked his best in the UFC, at least to this point. I mean,
that's fair.
Brandon Davis is a really good fighter, but he's not Mike Davis, and he's not a guy like Sodiq Yusuff, who Mike Davis had a fairly competitive fight with not that long ago. And I think we do have to take a lot from that fight. Sodiq Yusuff right now is one of, if not the most hype prospect in the whole division of 145 pounds. Now, yes, you can say Zabit, but he's a little bit higher up in the rankings, so I'll still stick with Yusuff. Mike Davis pretty much does everything Sodiq Yusuff does. He just doesn't really have the staying power of Yusuff. Yusuff has that power all the way into the third round. Mike Davis will slow down. Chikadze is odd in that fashion because he can throw those big spinning back kicks. He'll get kind of crazy. Problem is, if you miss a lot of spinning back kicks, your cardio is not going to hold up throughout the fight. So I don't think he'll be able to take advantage of the fact that Mike Davis doesn't have the world's best cardio. I think they're going to kind of cancel each other out in that respect. I think it's going to be a phenomenal fight, though. But I'm going to pick Mike Davis.
It's a really interesting fight, like you said. In terms of the odds, Mike Davis coming in a minus 220 favorite. Giga Chikadze at a plus 180. Over on Tapology, out of the limited amounts of votes that we have this early out, 162 of them, 61% picking Giga Chikadze, 86% predicting a decision. You're going to be hard-pressed to find a lot of featherweights that are 6 feet tall and have reach advantages like these guys mostly will in that division. It's an interesting thing. I mean, who can you think of that's around there? Maybe a Max Holloway. There's a few guys, but it's limited. And guys who have really good records this early on in their career, and the losses coming against really good fighters. Like you said, Yusuff and Gilbert Burns. For Giga Chikadze, it's been here and there. But yeah, I think the wins over Brandon Davis and then again over Jamal Emmers, really good ones for Chikadze. I mean, I know I predicted Jamal Emmers to beat Chikadze, but Chikadze able to get it done, albeit by split decision. It's going to be interesting to see how the weight cut affects Davis. He's fought at featherweight before, so hopefully it's not an issue. I wouldn't expect it to be that big of an issue, but you have to worry about weight cutting in every single one of these instances, just around the way that the fights are going to take place. All that being said, if Mike Davis is able to get in close, I'll take Mike Davis all day to win the fight.
He's going to be able to.
If Giga Chikadze can keep distance, Giga Chikadze could win. Overall, I'm going to side with Giga Chikadze here. I'm going to go with the kickboxing acumen. Again, if I woke up tomorrow and Mike Davis knocked out Giga Chikadze, okay, I wouldn't be overly surprised. But I'm going to take Chikadze in that regard. Who are you going with?
I'm this confident Mike Davis can knock him out. I don't think Giga Chikadze did not show me enough against Jamal Emmers that tells me he's going to be able to beat a guy like Mike Davis. So I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think it will be entertaining for as long as it lasts, but I do think Davis can win by knockout.
We shall see what happens, Matt. Really looking forward to it. Make sure you keep it locked in with Fight Night picks. We've got predictions for the 3 cards in 8 days, and you're going to find the playlist for this card right here. And as we always say, Matt, with Fight Night picks, let's get into it.